Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Matt here, back for another Faff Around Friday after last week's no show. Please accept my apologies for that. The simple reason is I've been working like a dog at my day job for the past 2 weeks, so extra hours and covering at different locations and generally cutting into my time making videos. One does have to pay the bills, unfortunately, but I'm back now, and the game I'm looking at today is Reprisal by Electrolyte Games. A little indie game that has recently gone free to play, completely free to play on Disura. Now I'm just going to jump straight into it. I skipped the intro because the music is quite loud and it's cool, but it kind of starts to get on my nerves after a while. But once I get into the game, it's going to look familiar to some of you. I won't say anything for the moment, I'll just jump straight in with baby steps right here, the first world. So a nice little isometric landscape, symbols, and to collect a forest totem. What could this be? Oh, it's a little man telling me things. Just head down south and pick up the forest totem. Use a waypoint totem to guide your people, no problem. So let's see, so far we have an isometric landscape, magic powers, a totem, you leading people who directly fuel your powers with the strength of their belief. This may be very familiar to some of you. The main totem powers are listed along the bottom left of the screen. Earth, wind and fire. Not the disco act, unfortunately. Now click on the earth totems, we can start using those. Make a gathering point. Basically, if you haven't guessed it already, it's Populous, under a different name. If you're an old fogey like me, you will remember Populous as being pretty much Peter Molyneux's first game, and the game that single-handedly invented the God Sim genre. Enough of this. Place a waypoint, yes. See, I'm very familiar with this because I played Populous many years ago. Many years ago. Let's see, select the gather waypoint action at the top of the screen. I've done that, and we send our people off. Wherever they are. Do we actually have any people? They also collect the forest totem, okay. Very basic starter island. WASD to navigate around, but it's all done in an isometric perspective, so when I go down it's like that, right it's like that, up and left. Oh, here we go. And I have a new leader. Yes, this game also takes elements from Populous 2, which introduced hero characters to the mix of knights and civilians. I presume this leader character is one such type. Oh, objective complete. Okay. Wow, I've conquered an island. Well, these are tutorial islands after all, they wouldn't just chuck you in at the deep end. Of course, that also means I don't get access to awesome godly powers until much later, presumably. Here we go, collect the Earth Totem. Although it appears there is another godlike being on this island with me, so let's go and depose them. Not that I'm really expecting much resistance. Use the Terraform Totem for this island. Build, expand and invade! Finally we get to see some combat. Well, combat of a sort. Now, combat wasn't the original Populous's. I keep saying original Populous as if this is a sequel, but it isn't really. Let's move into battle. I'm not using keyboard cursor and find the other tribe. Okay, where are you? No, I'm going south. Patronising little sod. Well, yes, that's what I was using, the WASD keys. Oh, I can also use the minimap. Once he lets me. God, I wish I could smite you. Now, click around the ocean to begin to make land. Ah yes, now this is very familiar to me as a Populous player. In your repertoire of godlike powers is controlling the very land itself. Oh, hold shift or space while switches the tool to flatten. Slight typo there. Ah, that's quite handy, so I can just sink the land, but we don't want to. Oh, don't quite want to do that, and it does cost me mana every time. My memories of the original Populous. Sorry, I keep saying original. My memories of Populous were that you could just flatten the land willy-nilly, even the enemy's land. What I like to do was basically go over once this little man stops talking for a fight. Okay. How to make bigger settlements? Yes. Yeah, go away. Right, well we're gonna sever the bridge between the land for a moment so I can tell you more about Populous, which this game is it is essentially a retro-style clone of Populous. And that's no bad thing because in the original Populous can be a bit tricky nowadays. You can get the sort of reboot sequel Populous the Beginning on good old games, and there was a version of Populous 2 released for the DS in 2008. just give these people a bit more land. As I was saying, one of my favourite tactics in Populous, stop saying original, was I like to go over to the enemy's land and just sink it. But Reprisal has taken a leaf from Populous 2's book again and prevents me from doing that. So I can't just drown them all and win the game easily. More's the pity. So we'll have to do this the old-fashioned, old-school, biblical way. I help my people to be fruitful and multiply, so there's more people worshipping me, which gives me mana to then spend on powers, which I then use to destroy my enemies while my people invade en masse on a righteous holy crusade. So here I am helping them multiply, hindered by the fact that I cannot rotate the camera, which was always a bit of a pain with Populous. Problem fixed in Populous the Beginning, which is of course the more modern sort of reboot remake I mentioned earlier. I say modern remake, but this was done back in the early 2000s, I think late 99, 2000, I'll have to look it up, but it used the game engine from Magic Carpet and you could rotate the camera, and the terrain deformation effects were a lot more impressive than Populous 1. Naturally, because Populous 1 was made at the dawn of gaming time, and Populous the Beginning was made relatively more recently. Incidentally, the Magic Carpet engine was also used for games like Syndicate Wars, as well as the original Dungeon Keeper. It's quite a versatile little engine. Anyhow, we've got a nice bunch of people here so far. Give them bigger houses, and then we'll go send them off to cause a ruckus. So got a little bridge there. Let's connect the two lands. Flatten that out a bit. And we'll put a waypoint right over this enemy's house, and then we'll send all our people over to go and have a fight. You don't directly control your little villagers here, they all just go about doing their own thing really. Building houses, equipping themselves with weapons. This guy doesn't even have any. He's just going straight in there with his fists and a mate. Followed by a massive army of people with swords and helmets, but hey ho. Oh, you had the shit kicked out of him. Luckily there's a whole lot more. Job done. There goes the one heretic, and this island is now part of my glorious heavenly kingdom. Although, alas, I gain no new cool powers from it. Let's move on to the next island. We actually get the fire columns. We can maybe unleash some fire. Now, I'm not going to play through all the tutorial here. In fact, actually, you're not really watching this just to see me faff around with the tutorial, are you? No, you're here to see me unleash some hellfire and damnation. So we're going to play a skirmish game, and it looks like Reprisal randomly generates skirmish maps, which Populous of course didn't have due to the processing power of the time. So let's make another one. 2 islands in a sea of urine by the looks of it, but I get volcano spell, some little firestorm spell. I'm presuming these are fire spells. These are wind and these are earth. This looks good, so I think we'll... can I... the enemy is very aggressive. Okay, let's just go straight in and begin my reprisal. You start by building things. I like the idea of having a nice massive house on sort of a hill there. It can be a glorious temple to my name where my people can sing my praises. And while I'm waiting for them to breed, I can go check out the other island. And there's my enemy. Parked on my little island there. Okay, come on. Come on. Start building things, people. Build and breed, damn it. I've turned the music down on this because, I mean, obviously it's very retro styling, cool in that regard, but it really has started to get on my nerves. You can turn it off in the options though. See, okay, I'm building your land. What more do you want? Come on, people, start building. Start building houses. Yeah, here we go, finally. We've churned someone out. Oh dear, I'm gonna have to lower this, aren't I? Oh, finally. Okay. Yeah, let's just raise that back up. Make a nice, decent-sized house. Aha! Wait, if we do this, make a bigger building. Eventually, hopefully, maybe. It'll be a massive, great big sort of fortress on a hill. Hopefully, we'll start churning out some more people. Meanwhile, how's my enemy doing? So, about the same, really. He's got a house, I've got a house. I have the feeling this map's going to be a bit slow. And what is up with the ocean here? It is an ocean of piss, isn't it? I'm not just imagining this. It's not the way the sunlight plays on the water. It's urine. You're on a world where whatever created it had very lowbrow sense of humour, shall we say. Meanwhile, we wait for our house to generate more civilians, which I spent a lot of my time playing black and white doing, when I wasn't slapping a giant monkey. Clicking a button there, I'm not entirely sure. As I say, it has been a while since I played Populous, and I've just dived straight into this. I remember a few things, how to raise and lower land, but... oh, we've got a soldier guy, that's alright. Our righteous army slowly grows. Right, maybe I can't generate a forest, yet. I'm not quite sure even what forest does, besides generate a forest. Obviously. It's been so long. I presume maybe these will be resources that our people can use to then build some more houses. Build more houses, to raise more children, to worship me. Then have more children to raise an army in my name, and then go and crush the red people over here. So he's already got 3 little houses, and quite frankly I find that disgusting. It's a filthy blight on my glorious heavenly kingdom of dirt, in an ocean of urine. Oh, no, I've completely destroyed the aesthetics of the land here. And generally burning through mana, which is not good. Now eventually I will have to build a little land bridge. I think I will start doing that. No, apparently I can't. Of course, because my belief only stretches to the little green auras around here and a bit further out. That, or I have to actually start building from my land. So I'll start building a little land bridge, and then I think I'll give some more land to my people up here. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to destroy your house. I'm not a cruel god. Well, I am a cruel god, but if you're devout enough, then you've got nothing to fear. Meanwhile, my rival has quite a few nasty looking people there, so I'm really going to have to upgrade the size of my buildings. Starting with my main domicile here, the glorious temple to my heavenly awesomeness. Here's the land, my people. Build. Come on, give me... ah, here we go. We've got bigger houses at last. You may have a whopping great big castle there. I've got 2. I'm not quite sure what they are. They're like palatial villas. Or are they like... no, they're more like... they are castles, actually. You can see there's a little keep there. The outer wall. I've got 2 castles. He's only got 1. Clearly his people do not fear him enough. And then there's sort of a little house there. I'm not quite sure what that is, besides a tent. Let's give this person a better house. There we go. I am a kind and loving god. I have given you this land to do with as you will, as long as it's breeding. Some of you watching this may not be terribly impressed, because you're used to flashier, more modern games where you get more instant gratification, but Populous was like the first of its kind. It was the first god game, arguably the first god game ever released. And say what you like about Peter Molyneux nowadays, the industry owes him a massive debt, and we'll all miss him when he's gone. He is to this day still a visionary, still he's a crazy man. I'll give him that. I'll give his critics that, rather. He is bonkers, and he comes up with stuff that 9 times out of 10 doesn't work, but the stuff that does work in his games works well and is enjoyable. I mean, Fable 2 had its faults. I say Fable 2, I've never played Fable 1, but I loved Fable 2, I really enjoyed it. Fable 3, I've been playing a bit of it and I've seen a lot of it, don't love it quite so much, unfortunately. But Fable 2 had the original Populous, Dungeon Keeper, Syndicate and Syndicate Wars. These were all great games, and Peter Molyneux was the driving force behind their creation. Yes, we can all joke about his broken promises, but the games industry is still a better place for his presence, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It's important to respect your roots, people, which Reprisal here does very nicely. It's Populous, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, how's he... he's got a lot of castles. Wait, people, why aren't you building more castles? Maybe I'll give you more trees. Do I have any... oh, I need at least 350 mana before I get a fire cloud. But my mana's going up quite quickly. Ooh, a whirlpool. I feel the urge to test some of my divine powers. What say you folks? Try a whirlpool. Although that will cost me most of my mana. Or I could just wait for fire cloud. He's got a sort of a leader person right there. As shown by that little aura around him. Ah, look, we nearly got enough power for fire cloud. So let's just drop that right on his leader's head. Die! This was the most satisfying part. Just watching them all burn. Going proper Old Testament. Fire, brimstone, punishing the heathen, the works. Oh, I've inadvertently gone and given him some extra land. That will not do. Right, time to set up a waypoint here. I've softened him up a bit. I've softened him up quite a lot actually. And I've got a sizable population, so let's go kick his ass. Look for a fight. Waypoints! Here! Nope. Yes, it is there. It's just hidden behind his filthy heathen symbol. Meanwhile, we've almost got enough for another fire cloud. Although I think we should save up for a volcano, or fire mountain in this case. Just because I want to see if it does some nice landscape deformation and... Basically, I just want to see what happens. I'm a god, I want to test the limits of my powers. Meanwhile, my people are moving in on a righteous crusade against the filthy heathen reds. Better dead than red, folks. Now I will unleash hell. Die, all of you, you little bastards. Get for worshipping false gods. Burn! Sorry, I get a bit carried away with god games. Very much... It's like opium. I have this sort of part of my brain, it's just a megalomaniac side, and I just love to watch little computer people suffer in great pain. Oh, I got enough for a firestorm as well! It's not your day, is it, folks? Uh-oh, whoa! Oh, we set a waypoint. Cheeky little bugger. He's not getting past my advanced guard of people. Walking amongst the ashes and the ruins with their red right hands. Oh, can I? Should start, perhaps, giving them some bigger land. Come on, people. Got loads of mana to spare. You can all build bigger houses and have more children to worship me. Yes, I think one thing we can learn from this, folks, is that I would be a terrible god. Not terrible as in useless. Terrible in the classic sense. Terrible in my wrath. For I am a jealous god. Oops. Oh god, I've gone and made a load of people homeless. Let's see if we can rectify that. Sorry. Come on. Start building more houses. And having more children to die for me. The actual, as you can see, these little dots here sort of mark the contours of where you, parts of the land that your powers would affect. So obviously the big central dot is what's going to be sort of like raised or lowered, and the other dots sort of mark the area of effect for it. Let's see, he's dumped his waypoint out in the ocean there for some bizarre reason. Crazy man, or crazy god rather. Softened him up pretty good here. We're taking over his villas and his castles. Our people are moving in with their little shields and swords, generally kicking their asses. But his leader's still alive. That way he's got another one. And while he lives, there can be no peace. So let's bomb him from orbit. Or from the heavens, I should say. Go all Sodom and Gomorrah on these dirty little red people. Well, my righteous soldiers walking amongst the flames unscathed, truly blessed. Okay, so what's left? Oh, he's got some settlements down here. It's not good. I need to set some more waypoints. Come on, people. Gather at waypoint and then kick ass. I have a leader now. Makes him just a little bit harder. Harder to kill. Just generally harder to take down. Hits harder, I presume. Who cares? He looks cool and he's the leader of my glorious crusade. Saw their little red man spiralling up into heaven. The wrong direction, because he's a red. Should be going straight down to the Stygian hells that I'm going to send his feeble god to. Right, go look for a fight, people. Got a ruckus going on in a house here. A villa just springs up out of nowhere. I have a lot of mana now. I think it's time for some more divine fire. Let's have a look. Look, this little house here. I'm going to be decadent and I'm just going to plop a volcano there. An old man, possibly even the last of his filthy degenerate belief system, tries to run or hobble and dies. all in all, job done. Look, there's a house here. Come on, people. Do not disappoint the one true god around here, or I'll smite ya. And I think that's just about it now. Yes, this island is mine. I am now the one true god of 2 islands in an ocean of piss. But hey, you gotta start somewhere, haven't you? And I think that's about it for now. Just a little quick look at Reprisal. So it's available completely for nothing, absolutely nothing. And in fact was made free earlier this month, a year after release. And the team were trying to get the game on Steam Greenlight. They made it free temporarily, and now they've made it completely free forever while they work on their next game. Well, as you notice here, you get to see a little sort of action replay of my terraforming efforts, as well as those of my departed enemy. In conclusion, if you're an old school gamer hankering to play Populous again, then this will be right up your alley. And it's free! You can download it from the links in the description below. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and if you didn't, leave a dislike. It's your prerogative. In the meantime, goodbye for now and have a great weekend. Or at least a tolerable one.